Okay, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 20 of the intermediate series and to learn about the Agnya Chakra part 2. So it is day 21 tomorrow, and just a reminder again, we do have the workshop, which Monica has posted reminders of in the WhatsApp groups. So do attend if you can. But do not despair, as we have said, this is not the last day. As you've noticed, we still have not learned about the 7th chakra in more detail. So that's going to be on the Monday and Tuesday. And Wednesday is going to be like a bit of a celebration, consolidation day of the past 21 days, kind of like we did it in the beginner series as well. And then from there, we will announce in those coming days what we intend to do in the advanced series. So stay tuned. And like we said, it is not going to be the last of seeing us. So thank you again for sticking through this journey and being with all of us. We can see you're all very receptive and learning a lot and are enjoying the knowledge and the vibrations and experiences you're feeling and the positive impact it's having on your life and around your family and friends as well. So that's really, really good to hear. Please continue to keep sharing your experiences, whether in this chat box or in the WhatsApp groups, or you can personally message us on, what miracles have you experienced or experiences, changes in life. That'll be really, really great to hear, as it'll continue to motivate us as well. So without further ado, today we have Eugenia here from Sydney, who is going to teach us about the Agnya on a more deeper level. So we'll bring Eugenia here on stage, and we will get started.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on day 20 of the next 21 days. And yeah, I've just heard that, so it's actually going to be 24 days, so a few more days to go. Today's topic is surrender your ego and imbibe humility. As we went through all the different chakras of our subtle system each night, it feels like we've been taking a journey of almost of our evolution, where the final destination is the Sahasrara, where we all achieve our self-realization. So before we talk about the Agnia, I feel it might be important to just mention the Vishuddhi, which is one chakra below the Agnia, because it is such an important evolutionary stage where we raised our head from the animal stage to the human stage and started walking upright on our two legs. And that this is the point where we also start to develop our ego and superego when they come into balance, and where the sense of I-ness started to emerge. So just to recap what Auntie Hetty was talking about yesterday about our Agnya chakra. So the human mind is divided into ego and superego, and they are the highest point of our left and right channels, which cross at the Agnya right here. Some people call it the third eye. And everything which passes into the left side, such as our memories, all our conditionings, all our experiences that happened in the past, they accumulate in the superego in our right brain. And similarly, all our right side activities, such as all the working, the thinking, the planning, the organizing, will then accumulate in our ego, in our left brain. So these two channels, when they become very active, when we indulge in either the past or the future, they become kind of like exhaust fumes that rises in our channel and go into these left and right superego balloons, and they can't escape. So what happens is that they keep getting inflated and inflated until the Agnya chakra gets really blocked up, because in fact, the Agnya is where is the narrowest pathway that the Kundalini has to get through to get to the Sahasrara. So it is the gateway for us to enter the Sahasrara. And Jesus actually said that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. So when he said that, he is referring to exactly the Agnya chakra, where the eye of the needle is like the Agnya, which is very narrow. And if in order to pass through that, we need humility. And then we can get to the kingdom of heaven, which is the Sahasrara. So to open up this chakra, we have to forgive, and there is no forgiveness without humility. So we have to humble down. And when this opens up, then the Kundalini can rise. And as that happens, then our thought waves will elongate. And then that will make the space between the two thoughts wider, which takes us into thoughtless awareness. So before I proceed any further, I think maybe we can listen to a talk by Shri Mataji, and she will explain a bit more about the Agnya chakra.
Now, one thing is there obstructing Sahasrara is the movement of your Agya into thoughts. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that stops your entry into Sahaja. Thoughts are coming all the time, because a human being is born who reacts to everything. React to this and react to that, and the thoughts come in and thoughts go. There's a big crowd of thoughts Because of that, your attention cannot cross over Agya and can reside in the Sahasrara. So first of all, one should see what sort of thoughts are coming. You have to condemn yourself sometimes. You have to say, what nonsense, what have I been doing? What's the matter with me? How could I do all that? Once you start doing that, these thoughts will start disappearing. These thoughts are coming from two angles, one from the ego and another from your conditionings. And these are so much built up within you that they don't allow your Agya to be crossed. That's why we have two bija mantras of Am Ksham. First one is, when it is conditioning, you are endowed with this kind of a fear. I shouldn't do like this, I shouldn't do like that, is not allowed, that is not allowed. That's the conditioning part of it. Conditioning can be of many types. But the ego part of it is that I must overpower everybody, I must get this, I must be able to rule everyone. These two things are there in the mind, which are all the time crossing. So it's important that we should go into thoughtless awareness. And that thoughtless awareness is the real way that your Sahasrara can be nourished by the Kundalini. Because Kundalini cannot go through, cannot pass through. And for that, as I said, there are two bija mantras. One is Ham, another Ksham. So if you are conditioned, you are frightened, you are afraid, and you had ideas about yourself. These days, the way people are describing, they'll say, I'm an extrovert. Somebody will say, I'm an introvert. Somebody will say, I'm hippie, I'm that. All kinds of things they can have attributed to themselves. But these ideas are all coming from outside. They are not from inside. To get to the inner side of yourself, the subtler side of your being, you must allow the Kundalini to go through the Agya. To cross the Agya is a very important thing in modern times. And for that, you have to meditate. If you can meditate with complete faith in yourself, this Agya can be opened up with surrendering to the Divine. You have to surrender yourself to the Divine. And when this Agya opens, you'll be amazed. Your Sahasrara is just waiting to transfer, to give you all the help that you need through the all-pervading power. Your connection of Sahasrara with the all-pervading power is established. And by that, you will be amazed how all these 7 chakras work for you. How they help you. How they try to give you whatever is the real knowledge about everything. This real knowledge that you get is very joy-giving. You can see this real knowledge in everything. You don't have to start reading any book about it. In every situation and in every person, in every flower, in every natural happening, you see clearly the hand of the Divine. Once you see the hand of the Divine, your ego starts disappearing. Once you say that it's you do everything. Kabira has said something great about this. He said that when the goat is alive, it goes on saying, I am, I am. But when it is slaughtered and its intestines are made into strings which are used for cleaning the cotton, then it said, tu hi, you are. See, in this symbolic way, they have suggested that you have to become dissolved into this divine power. It's the divine power that does everything. What am I? I was just a drop, and I fell into this ocean of awareness of the divine power. And that is taking over and working it out. That will help you a lot to be a great surgeon. You develop curing powers, but still you are not proud of it. You developed, of course, awakening powers, you are not proud of it. You develop so many creative powers and you are not proud of it. You become really very, very creative, extremely creative. But the greatest thing happened to you that you become a global personality. So you start seeing the problem of every country, of every other nation where they have problems. But these problems, when you see, you don't see like other people, because others may like to use it for their own purpose, maybe for media, maybe for something. What you want to see is that these problems are solved. See, your powers are so great with this kind of a mind, I would say, which is dominated completely by the divine power, that whatever disturbs you immediately is taken over and it starts working out. Many, many problems have been solved by surgery. And also they can be solved on a very universal level. If you are a global person, then what happens is that you become a sort of a vehicle, or you can become like a channel for this divine power to act, because you are purely a global personality. Not attached to this, attached to that, but a pure Sahaja personality, which can be used by this divine power very easily. For that, as I told in the afternoon also, that we have to be careful about few things that we have. Firstly, anger. Anger is the worst thing that we have. Angry for what? There are people who talk like this. I was very angry. They're proud of their anger. Anger is a sign of complete stupidity, absolute stupidity. There's no need to get angry with anyone, because by anger you don't solve the problem. With anger you spoil yourself. With anger you ruin your own nature. With anger you really spoil the whole situation. So no use having any anger about anything. But if anything happens that angers you, you should settle down and see for yourself, why is it wrong? Why is it disturbing you? Your seeing itself will help this problem to be solved. You must first of all realize that you are a special personality, that your Sahasrara has been opened out to this all divine power, as if you are entered into the realm of divinity. You are great guests in that great court of divine domain. You are not an ordinary person. And so once you understand why you have Sahaja Yoga and why you have got realization, is that there's something special. But that should not give you any ego. It's not for ego that you have to have this, but it's for understanding that you have to play into the hands of the divine. This play is something I could explain like this, that if you are supposing an artist, then in the hand of the artist is the brush, and the brush never thinks that it is doing anything. It's the artist who is doing everything. In the same way, when you are one with the divine power, you just feel, I am not doing anything. It's the artist who is doing. It's the artist who is managing. And who is the artist? Is this divine power which loves you, which cares for you, which looks after you, which absolutely is identified with you.
So now I'll just talk a little bit more about the Agnia chakra, and then we can do a foot soak and some clearing. So first of all, I guess I'll just mention that with the Agnia chakra, it is reflected on our ring fingers. So that's the fourth finger. And on the left is the superego, and on the right is our ego. So things that can cause the apnea to catch on a mental level, it will involve excessive thinking. For example, if we think that we are doing everything and that I'm the greatest, I'm better than everyone else, that would cause this Agnya chakra to catch. And on an emotional level, if we're indulging in the past, like self-pity, and on the right, if we react to different things, different people, and feeling angry, that will also cause the Agnya chakra to catch. And on a more physical level, because this Agnya chakra looks after our sight, if we look at things that are not auspicious or things that are impure, or for a lot of us, I guess, if we're working on the computer a lot, staring at the screen, looking at our phones or the devices, this will also weaken our Agnya chakra. So the element corresponding to this chakra is light. So today we will use the light of the candle to clear our Agnya chakra. And Shri Mataji has said that the light of love never burns. So instead it dissolves everything that is negative, everything that is impure, and it's very soothing. And so that as we nurture our own light from within, we can light the darkness all over the world. So I'm not sure if you have prepared a foot soak bucket. If you haven't, give us a couple of minutes where you can get your foot soak bucket ready. So just put a handful of salt in the bucket, have your water jug ready with fresh water to rinse your feet afterwards, and a towel to dry your feet. And as I mentioned, tonight we will use candle. So we can have a candle on a plate like this. And in a moment, Rachita will help put up a photo of Shri Mataji where we will be staring through the flame of the candle at Shri Mataji's bindi on the photograph. And that helps absorbs all our thoughts and all the negativity that has been blocking our Agnya chakra. So just to have our foot soak ready, put the foot soak bucket in front of us. And I just light the candle before we start. So before we start, let's just raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in Bandhan. So starting from the base of our spine with the left hand, we wrap our right hand around our left hand and slowly raise our Kundalini to the top of our head, tie one knot. And the second time, tie 2 knots. The third time. Three knots. And then we put ourselves in Bandhan 7 times. So we'll just give some vibrations to the foot soak with our right hand. And then we can put our feet in the water. And so we just hold out our left and right hand on our lap. And just raise our attention a few times and try and stay in that thoughtless state. So first we can clear our left channel by putting our right hand towards the Mother Earth. We can look at the bindi on Shri Mataji's photograph. And we just pray within ourselves to the Mother Kundalini. Mother, please remove all the negativity from my left channel. All the things in the past that are bothering us, all the negative emotions, all our thoughts from the past, please remove them. And just keep repeating that within ourselves. Please remove all the lethargy, all the conditionings. And just be aware of the sensation that we feel on our left channel. And then we can put our right hand on our lap and raise our left hand up like a chimney. And here we can clear our right channel. And again, we can pray within ourselves. Mother, please remove all the excess heat, all the overactivity, all our thoughts into the ether. Please clear my right channel. Please cool down our right side. You can either close your eyes or you can look at Shri Mataji's bindi. So if you have an ice pack, you can put an ice pack on your liver. Otherwise, you can also use our left hand as an ice pack to clear our liver, which is where all our thoughts that would heat up our liver. So we can put our left hand on our liver, which is kind of the area of the second and third chakra on our right side. We'll put the left hand there and keep our right hand on our lap. And here we can say, Mother, please cool down my liver. Please remove all my thoughts and purify my attention. Please purify my thoughts and purify my attention. Please take away all my anger. And many times when we are feeling very right-sided, we could also feel a catch on our left heart. Because when our ego is coming up, then we become disconnected with our spirit. And that causes the left heart to catch. So we can put our right hand on our left heart and left hand on our lap. And here we remind ourselves, Mother, I am nothing but a pure spirit. Please enlighten my spirit and let me feel the joy of my spirit. Now here we can also take some deep breaths. So we breathe in slowly. And when we can't breathe in anymore, we can hold our breath for a few seconds. And then we slowly release our breath. And then we hold it for another few seconds. And so we can repeat this process a few times, just taking deep breath. Breathe in slowly. And hold. And then breathe out slowly. And hold. And then we can try and clear our left Vishuddhi because the ego is often linked to our left Vishuddhi. When we don't forgive ourselves or can't let go of things that we've done wrong in the past, that will cause a left Vishuddhi to catch, where we keep all our guilty feelings. And the point is that we need to forgive ourselves and let go of the past. So let's put our right hand on our left Vishuddhi, which is on the left-hand side of our neck, and we can turn our head towards the right a little bit. And here we can repeat within ourselves, Mother, I am not guilty of anything. Mother, I am not guilty of anything. Mother, I am not guilty of anything. And then finally, we can try and clear our Agnia chakra with a candle. So as I mentioned before, the light element is very good for clearing the Agnia chakra. So what we have to do is that we hold the candle in front of our Agnia and we look through the candle flame. And if you can see Shri Mataji's bindi through the candle flame, and just keep staring at the bindi for a period of time without blinking too much, and that will help clear our Agnia chakra. So as we look at Shri Mataji's bindi through the candle, we can repeat within ourselves, Mother, please humble down my ego. Please remove my ego. Please make us a humble person. Let me forgive everyone and everything. Just keep our attention on Sahasrara. And try to feel this forgiveness from our heart with sincerity, without thinking about anyone or anything. Mother, I forgive everyone and everything. And then we can also clear our back Agnia by placing the candle at the back of our head, and try not to burn your hair, which I've done many times before. So just in the center at the back of our head, with our hand open, we can bow our head down for a little bit. And here we can repeat the affirmation: Mother, please forgive me if I've done anything against my spirit, knowingly or unknowingly. Mother, please forgive me. And as we do that, try not to think about anything in the past. Just ask for forgiveness. So we can bring it back in the front and just try and clear our front Agnia a little bit more. And let this light element dissolve all that is blocking our Agnya chakra. And let it absorb all our thoughts. And then we can put the candle away. And Rachita, if you can play some the raga for the Agnya, and we can close our eyes and just have meditation. Open our eyes. Open the knee and put ourselves in bandhan as we finish our foot soak. Can rinse our feet with the fresh water and dry our feet with a towel. And we'll just vibrate the water in the foot soak and just put it aside for now. As we listen to another talk, really short talk by Shri Mataji, where she talks about reactions and humility.
Regarding today's great advent of Sri Jesus Christ, I told them that he came on this earth with a very great mission. I would say one of the greatest visions, because he wanted to open the Agnia chakra, which was so constricted and could not be done before. For that he had to sacrifice his life. By that sacrifice only, the great Agnia could be opened. He was aware of it. He knew that it has to happen, that he has to somehow accept this sacrifice. As it is, he was a divine personality. He had no problem in doing so. But he thought that could be some other way there by which you can open this Sahaja chakra. But he had to sacrifice his life. And in that sacrifice, he has shown that if you have to rise above this mundane, superficial life, you have to, in a way, sacrifice. Sacrifice what? Sacrifice all your 6 enemies. But with the Kundalini awakening, all these 6 enemies completely get detached. Depends on how your Kundalini has risen. If she has risen in a perfect manner, then I have seen people at the first shot, they just become completely self-realized. Of course, there are very few, but there have been. While I see most of you have little problems, and for most of you it is the problem of the Agnya chakra. How do we get the Agnya chakra working so much is this, that we think as a reaction to anything outside. We react to everything. I see here all these lamps. I can react by saying, from where did they get all these? How much it must have cost? Where are they kept all the year round? All kinds of things. I can react. This reaction comes from our conditioning or from our ego. Egoistical people are extremely sensitive. If you give them, say, something that they think is not very dignified, they can feel hurt. They can feel hurt for anything because they have a consciousness that they are something special, something higher people, and one should behave with them when they are dealing with anyone. And that's how they get absolutely disturbed if they find anybody in any way degrading them. This comes from ego. Ego is a part and parcel of the Agnya movement. And the second one is your conditioning. Now you have a conditioning. Say you are an Indian. Now the conditioning is that a person who comes to meet you should touch your feet, supposing. That's your relationship. And the person doesn't touch your feet, then you are angry. Anything like that, which is your conditioning, gives you an idea that you are being insulted or in any way you have not been respected, then you feel bad. The other reactions of ego are like this. As I said, I see those lamps and I can say, why not I have it? Or if I have them, why will I give it to anyone? Ego reactions are there, or conditioning reactions are there. These two were to be finished, and that was done by the sacrifice of the life of Christ. Christ himself was a divine person, and a divine person is like the sea, because it remains at the 0 point, at the lowest point. It does all work from that point. It will make clouds, it will make rain, and when all the rivers are in space, they'll run into the sea. Because the sea remains at the lower point. So humility is one of the criteria of a Sahaja. A person who doesn't have humility cannot be called Sahaja. I have seen even Sahajogis get very angry. Sometimes start shouting and getting angry and misbehaving. That's the sign that he is not yet a Sahajogi, he has to still match. So, this humility of a person will give you more stationary, I would say, more permanent state by which you will not react. You will not react. You look at anything, you react. But then you don't react, you just watch. And that is how the new state, or witness state, comes in. When you become the witness, you are just watching, not reacting, not thinking about it, but you are in the present. And in the present you just watch and really enjoy it. The enjoyment of all the creation is not within your mind when you are thinking. And when you are not thinking, the whole enjoyment of the beauty of all this creation reflects in you, and gives you tremendous joy and peace. So one has to learn that we should not react. The today's problem is all human beings are very good at reacting. Reaction is the basic principle of today's life. See any newspaper, you see any book, you meet anyone, what I find that they are experts on reacting. They react. And by reaction, what happens? They never achieve any essence of the thing. Essence is only through witness state that you can achieve. This is what we have to learn from the crucifixion of Christ, from his birth, that he was born in a very humble family, very poor family, in very adverse conditions. The reason was to show that all these outward things and all these outward glories do not make you great. The greatness is within, and when that greatness is there, then you don't care for it, because you are so much enriched within yourself that you don't bother about other things. You don't think about these things. And you live in your own majestic life. This is what we see in his life. He was a very majestic person. Otherwise, if you meet somebody who is a poor man, say, and who has felt the poverty, he'll talk to you with a beggarish style. If there's somebody who is born in a rich family, he will talk to you in a very, I should say, outwardly showing off nature. But a person who is a divine person, all these things don't touch. For him, riches or not riches, positions or no power, is all just the same. And when that happens, then you should consider that you have become service.
So that was a really beautiful talk from Shri Mataji. And I think it's a good time when we have another meditation just to stay in the silence. Rachita, if you can play the music again, that would be really great, because that's the raga that helps us open the Agnia chakra. So you can just sit comfortably. And we can just raise our kundalini a few times with our right hand. Just to establish our attention on the Sahasrara. And just feel that humility within our hearts. If there are any thoughts that come into your mind, just put your hand on your forehead and say, I forgive. we feel that our right side is a bit overheated, we can also raise our left channel and push it down the right side. So we can do it together. We can raise our left side with the right hand and push it down on our right side. We can do this 7 times. Calm our right side, we can also say this affirmation. Mother, I do nothing. You do everything. Gently open our eyes. Can raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in Bandhan again. So I hope you all felt that thoughtless awareness state tonight. And just to recap on how to balance our Agnya chakra. So it's very helpful if we could meditate in nature. So if we look at the sky and look at the trees, look at the plants, that's very good for our Agnya, especially if we have a tendency of looking at the screen a lot. And another way is to put our right hand on our forehead and just say, I forgive everyone, including myself, and try to express your forgiveness from your heart. And be humble, and to remember that we are purely an instrument for the divine and that we're not doing anything. So we can, as we meditate, we can remind ourselves, I'm not doing anything, and I surrender to the divine. So in order to protect the Agnya chakra, we can put kumkum, like a bindi, like in Shri Mataji's photo, you can see we put a bindi to protect our Agnya chakra. For others, if you have to go out or go to work, it's helpful to, that's what I do, is to put a tiger balm, and you just put an invisible bindi before you go outside of the house. And that also helps to kind of soothe and protect our Agnya chakra. And of course, the best way to keep this chakra imbalance is to avoid excessive thinking and planning, and just live in the present moment and enjoy ourselves. So thank you all for joining tonight. And this brings us to the end of today's session. And thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Eugenia. That was a brilliant session. So I hope everyone else, you really liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and very well explained, and very knowledgeable as well. So I love the part Eugenia said that when the ego is sort of getting up, your left heart, left is here, left heart and left vishuddhi can get caught up. And I actually never realized that even though I personally used to feel that, you know, when I'm getting very right-sided, planning for work, planning for anything really, even Sahaja yoga stuff, sometimes we do get very heated up, and you can feel, like we say, you know, those palpitations, or you do get a bit anxious, your heart starts to race. But it never struck me that, yeah, the left heart also maybe is getting a bit caught up, because, you know, you are swaying to the right and not being in the center, connected to your spirit, and just letting your spirit do what it has to. So thank you so much again, Eugenia. That was amazing. And I hope you'll like the candle technique. If you didn't have a candle today, that's completely fine. Just get a little candle if you can next time, preferably ones that are like a little stick like Eugenia had, instead of a little tea light one. And just hold it up there so you're looking at the flame, and then looking at Shri Mataji's photo. So when you're staring through the flame at her photo, it actually clears away any negativities or bad sort of vibrations around this eye area, and you can feel that lightness as well. So it's really quite amazing. The other thing I will add is, now that you have all learned a bit more about the deities from yesterday's session, so if you did not stay back in the Going Deeper, you can rewatch it on YouTube if you like. And Monica talked about how different deities and incarnations have come on this earth, basically, you could say, established the quality of these various chakras within us. So over the course of the span of the human race, there have been various incarnations, prophets, saints that have come on this earth and have taught different messages to human beings, but all coming back to the concept of love, collectivity, knowing yourself or knowing thyself, and knowing the divine power as well. And of course, that's how you have the different religions. But now, as human beings with all these religions, and because we're stuck at the mental level, we've taken the religions to suit ourselves, really. It's either to suit the priests or the pandits, the false gurus, or to make money, greed, power. So we as human beings have become a bit lost that, what is truth and what is untruth. So in Sahaja Yoga, we combine all these principles together to show you that all the religions at the core, or the essence, like Monica said, the essence of all of them is that it's all about love. It's not about killing each other over religions. It's not about greed, power, or lust, or money, because you can't pay money to God. Why does God need money? He's created this whole universe, this earth. What is he going to do with money? Money is just for human beings to satisfy themselves. So at the end of the day, in Sahaja Yoga, this is why Sahaja Yoga is free. And this is why we say, trust your vibrations and what you feel of what is truth and untruth. And this is why you would have seen today Christ was mentioned, Jesus Christ, for the Agnia, because that's where we say his qualities of forgiveness resides. He came on this earth to teach human beings that despite the drama he had to go through of, the ministers or these people being horrible to him when he was just preaching about love and unification, he just detached himself, sort of witnessed the drama. He knew all this drama. At the end of the day, we say he is the Son of God. So he knows about this drama and play, and he had to come on this earth to put this play on to show that no matter how harsh they were being, he sort of consented. He could have done anything he wanted. If he was ever powerful, surely he could have just, destroyed these evil people, you could say. But he didn't. He said that instead, I'm going to forgive, because that's the most powerful weapon. And like Monica said, when you forgive, you are basically relieving yourself. The other person doesn't care if you're mad at them, probably, or grudging against them. But you relieve yourself. And then Shri Mataji says, let the divine look after that person, because we can't look after that person. We don't know what's right or wrong for them. Let the divine look after them. So that's what Jesus did. He died on the cross, but then he did resurrect. And when he resurrected, he proved he was someone beyond just a mere human being. So that should be the joyful part, that, he did come back on earth. He showed his followers that, he's well and truly a divine personality. And the end of the day, it was all about forgiveness. So if you have come from a background of being raised maybe as a Christian or Catholic, like I think Monica said, I think it's embedded in since childhood. Oh, you must feel guilty. And I remember sometimes hearing things from the churches, you must feel very guilty. You're a sinner. You're a born sinner. You must confess, confess, confess. What are you confessing for? You've just come on this earth to do your part. You don't know what's happened in the past. Who were you in the past? It's not like you're the one responsible for harming Christ. So that's why we need to clear out this guilt, this unnecessary tag or label we put on ourselves sometimes. Oh, I'm such a unworthy being, or I don't deserve this. No, you're a human being. You've come on this earth for some purpose or reason. You're well loved. And you're an instrument, like we say, an instrument of the divine. So it's very important to clear this guilt, forgive, and just feel joyful as well. But also then, and it's like this fine balance. It's like you're walking on a tightrope, not falling into the ego and not falling into the superego, and staying on that central channel. And that just comes with practice. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up if one day you're like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling egoistic, or one day you feel self-pity. We all feel that, even experienced practitioners. But you know, at the end of the day, that I have this tool to clear myself and I can get back to the center again. So I hope that was helpful, what Eugenia's done, and last 2 days learned about the Agya. We will now move into the Going Deeper series with Florian in about 5 minutes. So if you have to leave, thank you so much for joining and have a good weekend. If you'd like to stay back, please do so. You can throw out your foot soak water as well, and then we'll get started shortly. So thanks again, guys. Okie doke. So let's bring Uncle Florian to the front. If he's there, yes, there we go. Surviving quarantine well. So,
Hello, everybody.
okay.
Yes, still in
So we'll bring
quarantine.
Uncle Florian to the front, guys, and he will lead us for about 15-20 minutes for the Going Deeper segment. So sit back, relax, guys, and I'll hand it over to him now.
So thank you. That was a beautiful meditation with Eugenia. Yeah, I don't know if I can still go deeper, but yeah, it was very enjoyable. I thought I might just pick up where we stopped yesterday with Monica about the deities. There were a couple of things that came to my mind. So one was that really when we have all these deities and we see them in the different chakras reflected in our system or on the earth, then it's important to keep in mind that actually they're all just aspects of one God. So they're all gods, but in the end, there's of course only one God. So that was what we have in the different religions. They had one deity or one aspect of the God, and then they started to fight each other, saying, "Oh no, I've got the real aspect, and yours is wrong." And of course, all these incarnations, they knew that is wrong. I mean, that's the religions that afterwards developed from them. But yeah, I find that's really an important thing to see, that they are just all aspects of one God. Of course, there's only one God. It's all one. It's one universe, and we are all one in this. That's really what we experience in Sahaja Yoga. And the other thing that I noticed yesterday when Monica talked about all the deities is that they all have a female aspect. Yeah. So in Sahaja Yoga, really, what is so special also is that our guru is the mother. So far in most religions really that are nowadays, like, is it Islam or is it even a lot of the Hinduism, they all have male gods actually that they are praying to. And with Sahaja Yoga, we have what we are working with is the mother energy. It's the motherly, the mother goddess really. And that's such a big step, because really the mother, we all know the mother is compassion. A mother is the one that always has compassion for her children and has complete love for her children. And it goes away from these images that we had in these other religions where we have a father that is quite strict or punishing or something like that. So which really goes to Jesus Christ. Yeah. So that was what he was preaching also. That was the forgiveness. Yeah, Jesus Christ, he's not really a primordial master. Somebody just asked that. The primordial masters, they were like incarnations of the guru principle. And Jesus Christ, he was really an incarnation of a divine incarnation of God. So when we talked about the Muladhara chakra, so sorry, I'm a bit nervous. So when we talked about the Muladhara chakra, we have Shri Ganesha, who is the incarnation of the Muladhara chakra. And he's created only by his mother. And he's complete innocence, complete purity. And Sri Jesus Christ then later on is an incarnation of this same principle that Sri Ganesha is. It's the eternal child. So Jesus Christ is actually an incarnation of Sri Ganesha. So it's the same like we have with Jesus Christ. When you see in the story in the Bible, he is born only by his mother. He doesn't have a father. It's the same as Sri Ganesha. It's this complete purity, and that's what he's manifesting, just as Sri Ganesha does, this complete innocence and purity. And yeah, so he's not a primordial master. He was really a divine incarnation. I think I would like to just go and continue meditating now, actually, on that. So if we can all just sit comfortably and have our hands towards the Mother Earth and bring our attention back inside. Just bring our attention back inside into our Muladhara chakra. And here we can bring our attention again on our Kundalini, on our Mother Kundalini. And ask her to please enlighten the principle of Sri Ganesha within us. Which is the principle of the eternal child within us. Of complete purity and innocence. And still keeping our attention in the Muladhara chakra, we can 3 times together take the sound of Om, which is the Omkara, which is the sound that was at the beginning of the universe, of the creation. And when you read in the Bible, you see that it says the same thing actually about Jesus Christ, that he was, it says there that he was the word that was at the beginning, but that is what is meant with that is the sound, it's the Om. Om. And we can take our right hand and raise our Kundalini all the way up to our Sahasrara. And we can take our right hand and put it across our forehead, and bow our head down towards our heart. And then in our heart, we can take the prayer that Jesus Christ actually taught to us, our Father. We can just pray together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Then we can put our right hand back on our heart. And here we can pray to our Mother Kundalini to please fully open our heart, so that we can feel the joy of the Spirit, because that's what Jesus Christ really was. He was the Spirit. He came back as a Spirit. He was the Spirit that is eternal. And he was complete joy. You can pray, please, Mother, let me feel this joy of the Spirit in my heart and in my whole being, in this whole universe. Because there are no limits to the Spirit. And we can just with our right hand a few more times just slowly raise our Kundalini. All the way up to our Sahasrara chakra. And then in our Sahasrara chakra, we can thank our Mother Kundalini for showing us the spirit inside, for giving us the self-realization, for choosing us to be divine instruments of the divine. And for looking after us in so many ways. And we can just raise our Kundalini. With full attention inside. And give ourselves a bandhan. Shri Mataji. And then I hand back over to Rachita. I don't know if there's still something that you need to announce or if you just want to play music. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Uncle Florian. That was beautiful going deeper segment. Even I will admit I was also wondering how Uncle will take us even deeper because Eugenia did such a brilliant job, but there we go. We learned more stuff, guys. We rehashed back onto Ganesha and going back to Christ. And good question about, is Christ then considered a primordial master? In a way he is. At the end of the day, all these incarnations, prophets are an incarnation of the divine. I mean, we all say even human beings are a reflection of the divine. So if you think of the divine in a way as like, I sometimes think of them as, like one big ball of light in a way. And there's just different refractions, different rays. And all these rays are just different incarnations, avatars, on ways of seeing the divine, whether it's nature, human beings, and then of course those different, you could say special personalities who came on earth. So Christ kind of differs from those 10 masters which we mentioned of the void, because he himself said he is the son of God. Whereas the 10 masters like Guru Nanaka, Confucius, Moses, they never said they were sons of God. They also usually went through a life of introspection and self-discovery, questioning, in the era that they were born in, why were there problems in certain ways? Why was humanity, why is humanity suffering? And so to them, I guess they had their relevant own teaching that they had to pass on in that sort of era or generation of human beings. And then it so forth has continued on then as like as a religion or as a particular following. So those 10 masters never said themselves they were sons of gods or in that way. But then they did become, you could say, like saints. And that's why people followed them very reverently, because the people found that, yes, they are something special. Same as Shri Mataji as well, that, you know, you can feel that vibration, you can feel that attraction, that when she talks, she has that something special about her that, you know, you don't just get bored and go, oh, this is boring. There's something about her that pulls you in. Oh, what she's saying is the truth. So thank you again, Eugenia and Uncle Florian. And we wish luck to Uncle to complete his 14 days of quarantine. But I think, you know, better time to have this 21 days to keep us all going, even if you're in lockdown. Like we know Sydney's in lockdown as well at the moment. And I hope everyone else, wherever you are in the world, you're all doing fine during this COVID. And let's all pray, you know, COVID ends soon so that we can kind of go back to enjoying life, traveling, and even also checking out your local Sahaja Yoga collectives. So what we would encourage is that as this intermediate series draws to a near, and we will start to do probably like 2 to 3 sessions a week. Do check out, if you can, your local country or city's Sahaja Yoga center. That way you can physically get involved in a local collective and meet people who are pretty much similar to what we are online. And yeah, you can learn more also on a deeper level and be involved in a collective environment. So it goes back to that concept yesterday of what is collectivity? Collectivity is being in a group or a company of people that you feel that joy and connection with. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining. You know, if you ever have questions, pop it in the chat box or just put it in the WhatsApp and we will answer you. I will also put that Lord's Prayer that Florian covered, which maybe some of you might not be familiar with. It's a very beautiful prayer. I'll post that in the WhatsApp group. And of course, we'll in due course put all these resources on our website as well. So thank you for joining. Thank you always for being patient with us. If we're ever slow to respond or any technical issues or anything, enjoy your Saturday and we will see you all tomorrow for the workshop. So as usual, I'll put a bit of music on. You're welcome to listen in, and then we'll draw the session to an end. Thank you, everyone. Jai Shri Mataji.
जगाने वाले ज्योति जगाने वाले Maya, ode chunari,
Thanks again for joining all. See you tomorrow.